Hey everyone, I hope that you all are doing well, had a great weekend. I hope that you all have gotten started with a great productive week so far. This is my video for EDL 552, Critical Issues in Higher Education. In this video, I'm basically going to give you a brief overview of some of the issues that I found that stood out to me throughout the course, as well as give you a little bit insights of some of the skills that I picked up during my time within the course that was going to pretty much help me enhance my career or within higher education. So without further ado, not to waste any more time, here we go. So this semester we talked about a lot of issues that were geared towards higher education and looking through them through a critical lens, basically seeing beyond the actual knowledge that we have and applying that knowledge to a lot of the issues or giving our own interpretation and how we as future educators or future professionals really can grow within throughout these issues. So some of the three major issues or the three modules that stood out to me that I felt as though that can need a little bit more research or I like to know a little bit more and more about were the module that pertained to the college mental health crisis, the next module dealing with Greek life and their issues, and the final one was the social media module, talking about the different types of platforms. And so each one of those modules basically had their own view of how, like, what approach that we can use as future professionals within higher education. Um, the I guess you could say the first module, the social media, excuse me, not the social media, but the college mental health one, what really stood out to me the best, the most, because me working or wanting to one of my first jobs, coming out of graduate school, I would like to be working with students with an orientation or some kind of in the realm of first year experience. So so trying to see some of those issues that a student come in during their first year in college. They dealing with the being away from home a lot. They're dealing with the trying to be included or try to establish his foundation and his circle of friends, and they dealing with a lot of these issues and trying to balance their work with academics, and they're dealing with a lot of things here. And today with a lot of the college, like the mental health crisis that's within the colleges and universities, and you can see it's really interesting to see how the students cope with all the stress, cope with all the pressure of being an actual student. So to me, that really does. So that personally stood out a lot to me because wanted to get a little bit more information about how, as a professional, I can be able to be some kind of an ally to that student in a way, which leads to me going into the Greek life piece. So of course, like most of the topic we talked about is having that overall engagement within the universities, and of course with Greek life is up there and having this prestige of knowledge and this prestige of wealth and status that a lot of students want to have, but also do not fail to see some of the downfalls of Greek life and how Greek life overall has gotten a bad rep. Me personally, because I am a member of a Greek organization, I see the great benefits of Greek life, and I would love to encourage my students to go into that direction because if it's able to help them grow and get some of those skills that they can't get from anywhere else, and so it's like the teamwork and the building and the bonding and the brotherhood or sisterhood and getting those networking opportunities, I would love to push them into that direction. However, keeping it in mind, I will also, as a professional, have to make sure that we deal with those consequences of Greek life, but making sure that they don't fall into the pitfall of the grades falling, or making sure they don't lose themselves within the process, not losing themselves from themselves, like their own identity as when they came in here. Don't let this organization shape their overall view of your issues prior to joining the Greek organization. So dealing with that, and then that last piece of dealing with the social media module, that was quite interesting because now, this is the 21st century. Social media is growing more and more each day. There's several platforms that are coming into play every time that you turn around. I mean, Twitter and Facebook and Instagram is there. This is a major platform, but now you're getting a lot more people and into social media, and schools are more converting, using more instead of brochures. They're going to social media and having these pages to advertise their universities and institutions. So I really felt as though that me being a professional in higher education, I have to make sure I have to be aware of what me as a person and as a professional puts out there, because we have to realize that we are a representation of the school, and so making my students aware of those of that type of those issues, of what social media can do to an individual in terms of reputation for themselves as well as university. Making sure that they are having that eye on their aspects of social media. So those three things that I saw, those three issues that I would love to address more, they stood out to me the best. I enjoyed the discussion, the conversation that surrounded them. And I would guess you say, like, to wrap up, my final, some of the skills that I really saw that kind of opened me up and enhanced my view as a professional, and that knowledge is the major skill, and the number one skill has been like the analytical skills. Seeing that you having to know the knowledge, but actually trying to dig in and really get a closer view, trying to interpret both sides of an argument. So this course really teaches you about going from a looking at it from a student aspect, which means you had to go back to your undergraduate days, but also going back to your undergraduate days, and seeing struggling from those experiences, and then coming and looking at it from a university standpoint, so from an administrative standpoint. And this course really, and so to me, with them analytical skills, looking at every detail from both the undergraduate experience as well as from a administrative experience, you have to look at those both sides, so that way you can come to a common solution or a strategy that will be able to prosper and be able to grow from within the university and within themselves, so that the overall concept is to make sure, or the overall the objective, to make sure that we all have a somewhat of a great experience, overall college experience, on both as a student and as an administrator, as well as helping to help grow the institution into a right path. So analytical skills, of course, again, that's critical thinking skills, and that's communication skills overall, trying to interpret and trying to communicate the thoughts and your opinions about a certain issues, and kind of making you go deep inside your mind and talk about more about how do you feel and how can you grow from that actual from the issue that's in hand. So that's all I have. Sorry the video went a little bit too long. Again, I had a great time working with being in this class, learning about some of the different issues. I'm looking forward to listening to you and viewing your videos as well. Can't wait to see everyone that's graduating. This is our last full week, so stay strong. Talk to you soon. Bye.